Alright guys, welcome to, I think this is part 4, and hopefully this is the last video. I'm going to try to squeeze in the rest here. There's not too much we have to do as far as CSS. We've done most of it, aside from the responsiveness, which really isn't that much either. So we do have a couple other HTML pages to create. One is the dashboard, so let's go ahead and do that. So in dist, I'm going to create a file called dashboard.html. And let's grab our boiler plate here and let's paste that in. Okay, so we have our nav bar. We're going to have our container with our heading. I'm just going to change this to dashboard. And for the text here, actually for the, no, we'll leave the user icon, but for the text, let's just say like welcome John Doe. So we'll welcome the user, and then under that we're going to have some buttons. I'm going to just put these in a div with the class of dash. We'll do dash btn or buttons. Okay, and then within here, let's go ahead and create a link. I'm going to give this a class of just btn, and this is going to go to create dash profile.html, but the text is going to say edit profile. This is basically the same form. Within the real application we build, it's the same, pretty much the same HTML. So that's one. Actually, we want to have an icon within this a tag. So let's actually just put this on a new line, and then we'll put an icon right here. So this is going to be FAS. And then FA-user-circle. And then I also want it to be the text primary color. So I'm going to also add text-primary like that. Okay, so just to see what it looks like, if we go to the landing page and hit the logo here, we'll see our dashboard, and there's our button. So I'm going to copy this A tag, just copy it down twice. So we're also going to have an add experience. And let's do an add education. And we're just going to change up these icons. So this add experience is going to be FA-black-tie, and then this one is going to be FA-graduation cap. So save that. Looks like that. Let's see. FA black tie. That's actually an FAB icon. There we go. Okay, so there's our buttons. Now underneath that, we're going to have some tables with our experience credentials and education credentials. So let's go under the buttons, the dash buttons here. And let's put in H2. And I'm going to use MY2 to give it some margin. And we're going to say experience credentials. And then underneath the H2, we're going to have a table, and I'm actually going to give this a class of table. And then within the table, let's put a T head, some basic HTML here, table row, and then our table headings. We're going to have company, and let's see, the last one is for the button, so that's going to be blank. The second one is going to be the title, and then this one is going to be the years. Now, I'm going to have a special class just to make this table look good on mobile devices. I'm going to have a class called hide-sm, which is going to be, it's basically going to just hide whatever is in it on smaller screens. I'm going to make it do that later on. So let's add it here as well, because if we have too many table columns, it's not going to look right on mobile devices. All right, so that's our head, and now we need a body. So let's do T body, and we're going to have our table row, our columns. So this first one is the title. Let's say Traversy Media. Go ahead and copy that down. So this is going to be the, what is this, the title. So I'll say senior developer, and this is also going to have that hide class. All right, and then we're going to have this one, and this is going to be the years. So I'm just going to do like 0 to, well, actually, wait a minute. This is John Doe. Let's actually make it make sense. So we'll say, we want it to say the same stuff that's on his profile. And let me see, what did I, so for years, we said October 2011 to current. So we'll just do that. And then we want a delete button. So let's do another column here with a button. And we're going to give this a class of BTN and BTN danger. And let's just say delete. Okay, we'll go back. All right, now the table looks pretty crappy, but we're going to add a little bit of styling later. Now I want to have two experiences here. So let's see, what do I want to do? Let's just grab this TR and let's put one directly under it. And I'll just change this to Sun Microsystems. Okay, so now we have two experiences. Now, education is going to be pretty much the same. So what I'll do is copy. Let's see. Let's copy from this H2 down to the end of the table. And we'll go under the table and we'll paste that in and change this to education credentials. And let's see, we're going to have school. So we'll have school, we'll have degree and years, and then I'm just going to change this to, what did I say, university. Degree, and then years. Like I said, like 1999. All right, so we'll just have one education, so I'll get rid of the second row. Okay, so let's save that. Good. Now, the last thing that I want to have here is a delete account button, so I'm going to put that under the table. Let's do a div with the class of my2, give it some spacing on the top and bottom, and then a button. And it's going to be BTN danger. And let's put an icon. It's going to be FAS and then FA-user-minus. And then next to that, we're going to say delete my account. There we go. Okay, so let's see. For the table, we'll put that in utilities, because we might use tables, you might use tables somewhere else. So let's go to, where am I? Sass utilities. And we'll put this, I guess we'll just put this down at the bottom. It doesn't really matter, I guess. So let's say class table. All I want to style is the TH and the TD. So let's say class of table TH and class of table TD. Actually, we could just do TH and TD. Okay, we'll just do padding 1 rem, and let's text align everything to the left. Okay, so save that, and that kind of spreads things out a little bit. And the TH, the table headings, I want to have a background. So I'm going to say for just the TH, let's do a background of the light color. There we go. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. So that's our dashboard. Now, all we really have left are the form. No, we have the posts too. I forgot about that. And since we're logged in now, we actually have a different nav bar. So we're going to have to address that. So let's go to dashboard HTML and let's go up to our nav bar. All right, so the nav bar is going to have, in addition to developers, let's see, so we have developers. We don't want register and login. We do want posts. So we'll say posts. Change this to post.html. And then we're also going to have a dashboard. But what I'm going to do here is let's add our link. Okay, so we have our link, and then inside here I'm going to have an icon for the dashboard. So I'm going to say FAS and then FA-user. And then I'm also going to wrap the text in a span with that hide SM because I don't want to show the text because I want it all to fit on mobile devices. So let's do a span with the class of hide-SM. Okay, we just want to wrap, oops, we just want to wrap the dashboard here. Let me close that. All right, let's save that. Okay, so it looks like that. Now with the logout, I want to do the same type of thing with an icon. So I'm going to copy that LI, and this will just go to, we'll have it go to login HTML. And then let's change the icon to FA-sign out alt. Okay, and then we'll just say log out. And if we save, now we have the icon as well. All right, so that's pretty much the nav bar we're going to use for the rest of the pages. So I guess what I'm going to do is take that nav bar and put that in our boilerplate. There. Okay, so next thing is the edit profile, or it's actually create profile. So let's create that file. So create-profile.html, and let's grab our boiler. So copy that and paste that in. All right, so for create profile, it's a pretty big form, so I'm probably going to do some copying and pasting. So if you guys want to pause the video and copy it, or you want to get it from the description, you can do that. But let's start, let's see, right below the nav bar, and we're going to have this just say create your profile. And here, let's say, let's get some information to make your profile stand out. All right, so I'll save that. And underneath that, I'm just going to put a small tag, and I'm going to notify the user that an asterisk is equal to required fields so that they know that they have to fill those out. All right, so we have quite the form to put here. So I think what I'm going to do is just paste it in and then just go over it real quick so you guys can copy it, or if you want to grab it from the code in the description, you can do that as well. But let me just paste this in and let's just go over it. It's basically using all the styling we've already added. It's using the form class, so as you can see right here, and then each field is wrapped in a form group. We have a select. I did give these names, although it doesn't really matter for this. This is just the interface. But we have some options, so value 0, select professional status, just kind of a label. Then we just have all the different options. All right, and then we have a small tag with the class of form text that just has some information, and most of these fields do. So then we have a form group with the company, we have the website, we have the location. So all of these just kind of have some helper text. We have the skills, which is just telling you to put a comma separated value. In the actual course, we take that and change it to an array and store it in the database. GitHub username, so if they wanted to have repositories on their profile, they could put in their GitHub username. What else? We have the text area, which is the bio right here. And then we have this add social networks link button, but it's not going to be functional, obviously. This is just HTML and CSS. In the course, this stuff is hidden by default, and then you click the button and this stuff shows. All right, and then each one of these has a class of form, group, and social input. So that's something we're going to have to add to our CSS. And then we just have the social media icons and an input for Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And then at the bottom, we just have a submit button and a go back button. Why is this submit button smaller than the go back? Let me just check something out here. Margin, padding is good. Oh, it's the font. For some reason, this button isn't the railway font. Doesn't look like. All right, so we'll have to fix that. So let's jump into our form SCSS file, because that's where we're gonna put this stuff. And for the submit button, what I'll do is make sure I'm within the form. You know how we have the form wrapping everything, form class. So I'm going to take the input with the type of submit, and I'm just going to say the font I want to inherit. So let's save that and let's check it out. There we go. So now it's the same font and now it's the same size. So for the social stuff, let's go right here and let's say social input. And what I want to do is align the icon with the input. So I'm actually going to use flex here. The social input, I'm going to say display flex. And if I save it, you'll see that it's going to just align them together. Now there's some things I want to do with the icons in particular. So I'm going to just grab the icon and add padding 0.5 rem and set a width of 4 rem. So I'll save that, and that just gives us some space. And what I'd like to do is just use the actual colors of these logos. So I have those. I'm going to grab them and paste them in. So within this I tag here, I'm going to go ahead and do that and just take each class and add a color of that, of basically the branding of each one. So if I save, now we get the nice colors of each icon or each brand. All right, so that looks pretty good. I think we're all set there, and we should be all set with the form SCSS file. So now let's do let's see, if we go back to the dashboard, we need the add experience and add education. So I'm going to create both of those files. So we'll say add dash experience.html, and let's also create add dash education.html. So we'll go to experience, and I think what I'll do is just paste this in, because it's all stuff that we've already gone over. It's just going to be really repetitive. So let me just grab that. Actually, one second. Let me make sure this is correct. Yep, so we'll just grab that, paste it in, and I'll just go over it. So same nav bar, all that stuff's the same. And then we just have our H1 with add experience. You can see how things are pretty consistent on each page, and that you want to keep that in mind when you're creating any kind of website or UI. So we have our lead, we have our text here, small tag with required fields, we have class of form, and then just the different fields. So job title, company, location, we have the dates, and notice we're using the type of date here for from and to, and then we just have a checkbox for the current job. All right, and then we have a text area for the description. We actually don't need BTN Lite here. All right, so I'll save that and we'll go to add experience. What the hell? Hold on. Oh, I have that going to create profile. So in the dashboard, I just need to change my links up here. And this should be add education. All right, so now if we go, whoa. Okay, so in my add experience, I just have the wrong CSS up at the top here. I need to do .min because initially I wasn't using that. All right, so that's the add experience. Okay, so the add education is going to be pretty much the same thing. So let me just grab that real quick. And guys, I hate copying and pasting. I really do, but there's a lot of HTML in this project, so, and it gets very repetitive. So if we're not doing anything that's different, I don't see why not, you know. So let me just paste this in and let me fix up the link here to .min. All right, so if we save that and go to dashboard, add education, it's basically the same form. So just show you real quick. So school, degree, field of study, form, from date, to date, and notice the dates have the little drop down here. And then we have the checkbox for current school, text area, and button, which we don't need button light. And that's pretty much it. All right, so the last thing we have are the posts. Oh, one thing also I had was this border right here. I didn't put that in the other pages, so if you want that, you can keep it. It's just right here inside this LI with the dashboard, but I'm going to get rid of it on both the add education and add experience. All right, so now we just have the posts. So I'm going to close up these HTML files, and we have two more files to create. So one is going to be, we want to be inside dist. One is going to be posts.html, and then one is going to be post.html. So we're going to start with posts, and we'll go ahead and grab our boiler and paste that in here. Why is this? I don't know why this isn't copying. All right. So this is our post page, and we want to put, let's see, we have text primary, let's say, in here I'm just going to say posts, and then for the text, let's say welcome, welcome to the community. All right, so underneath the paragraph, we're going to have a form. So I'm going to give this, it's going to be a div with the class of post-form. And we're going to have a post form header. And I'm going to give this a class of BG primary. And in here, I'm just going to put an H3, and I'm going to say something. Okay, let's save this and let's go to our post page. Okay, we're going to add a little bit of styling to this after. So underneath that, we're going to have a form underneath this this div right here. So let's do form. It's going to have a class of form, and I'm also going to do my1, add some spacing. We don't need an action. And then inside the form here, we're going to have just one field and a submit. So the field is going to be a text area, and I'm just going to give this, let's see, we don't need a name or an ID, and I'll do call. I'll just leave the calls at 30. Let's do 5 rows, and let's add a placeholder. Oops. So placeholder, we're going to say create a post. Okay, and then right under the text area, we'll put an input with the type of submit. And we'll just say submit. And let's add a class. I'm going to do btn dark and then my1. Why didn't that work? Oh, I put an extra dash. There we go. Okay, so underneath the form, we're going to have the posts. So we're going to have a class of posts, and inside there, each one is going to have a class of post, bg white, and my-1. Okay, and basically we're going to use the grid here, just like we did with the developers, where we kind of align things. So we'll have, let's see, we're going to have a few different items. One will be a div, and we're going to have the image, the profile image, but we're going to wrap it in an A tag that goes to profile.html. So let's put an image here, and I'm just going to copy from, let's go to, let's see, go to profiles, and I'm just going to copy this. Oops, I'll put that right there. Okay. So let's see, we want to go right under the image, still within the A tag, and let's put an H4, and let's put the name John Doe. All right, and then we want to go outside of this div. Okay, so that's going to be a grid item, and then we want another div. And in here, we're going to have a paragraph with the class of my1. And this is going to be like just the post text. So I'll do, let's say, lorem 30. Let's close this up. Okay, so there's the text. And then we also want to have some buttons. We want the like button and stuff like that. So let's do button. Let's say class btn, and let's do, well, let's just do btn. We'll keep it gray. And this is going to have inside of it a thumbs up icon. So we want a class of FA or FAS and a class of FA-thumbs-up. And then I'm going to have a span here that has the number of likes. I'll just put 4. Okay, and then what we'll do is just copy this, copy that down, and we're going to have a thumbs down. Okay, but there's not going to be any count, so I'm going to get rid of this span. All right, let's save that. So there's our thumbs up, thumbs down, and then we just want a link to the post HTML. So let's put an A tag here that goes to post.html, and we're just going to say here, let's say discussion, like that. And actually, let's give this a class of primary. All right, so that's a post. Now I'm just gonna, I want 2 of them, so I'm gonna copy the div with the class of post, which ends here, and we'll grab that. And let's put one right underneath, and we'll save. Okay, so now let's style this thing. So we're gonna go into, let's see, styles. And down at the bottom, let's say posts page, and we want first the header, so I'm going to do post form dash header. I definitely want to add some padding to that, so let's say padding 0.5 rem. Okay, make that look a little better. And then for the post class, which wraps each post, we're going to use the grid for this to align this stuff. So let's say display grid, and we're going to use grid template columns, and I'm going to do 1 fraction and then 4 fraction. Okay, so if I save that, you can see that the first item, which is the div with the image and the name, is 1 fraction, and then the text and all that is 4. Okay, let's add some grid gap. We'll do 2 rem, and then let's align the items to the center. Okay. And let's see. Let's take this first div and make sure that we text align center. I don't want this text align center, just this, like the name. So within here, let's do an ampersand and let's say the direct div first child. And we want to text align that to the center. Okay, there we go. Why is there no padding? I thought. Let's add a padding here. There we go. And the image, let me just pull this. So the image kind of shrinks and grows. I'm gonna make the image just stick to 150 pixels. So in here, let's say the image, let's do a width of 150 pixels like that, so that it stays that size all the time. Okay, so we have our post page. Now we're going to have the individual post page as well. So if I click discussion, it takes us to post HTML. So post HTML has all the same styles. There's no new styles. So I'm just going to paste in the HTML, but let me just find it real quick. All right, so I'm going to paste this in and just fix up a couple things here. The link to the CSS. And I just want to take that pipe character away. So let's save this, and this is what it's going to look like. And basically, it's just taking the components we use on the posts and just kind of rearranging them, adding a couple more. So if we go down a little, we have our back to posts. We have our div here with the class of posts. So this right here is the same exact element as this, except it just doesn't have the buttons within it. Okay, but the styling is the same. Okay, it has the class of post, BG white and padding and stuff. Oh, you know what? That's why I forgot the P1. So in the style right here for post, I'm going to get rid of this padding 1 rem. And if I go back to post, you'll see that there's no more padding. That's because I forgot to add the P1. So post HTML, I'm actually going to just see right here. We want to add P-1 for that, and for this one as well. P-1. There we go. Just to be consistent. All right, so back to post HTML. Okay, so at the top we have that, and then we have the form, which is right here. So same styling, same class, post form header. Then we have our text area, and then under that we just have 2 more posts. Okay, so if you guys want to copy that, or if you want to just grab it from the file, that's fine. Okay, so that's pretty much it as far as full screen. Now we need to deal with the responsiveness of it, which isn't too bad actually. There's not that much to do, but let's open up our dev tools. And let's use the device toolbar here. So I'm just going to go back to the home page. And whoops, why did I do that? Just want this smaller. Actually, you know what? I'll disconnect this. Okay, so I mean, this doesn't look too bad. I do want the text to be smaller, but the menu doesn't look good, obviously. So let's address that now. The way that I'm going to approach this is I'm going to have a special Sass file for mobile. So I'm going to just create a new file here called _mobile.scss. Okay, now when I bring this in, I actually want to bring it into the bottom of style.scss. That's where I wanted to basically put everything. So, because this is where it's basically our media queries. Let's do @import media. Okay, and then we'll go, not media, mobile. So in our mobile SCSS, let's add a media query. And basically all I'm going to say is anything that's under 700 pixels. So let's do a media query for the max width of 700 pixels. So basically, whenever the browser is less than 700 pixels wide, this stuff will kick in. So remember, we have our hide-sm class, so we just want to set that to display none when 700 pixels or less is in effect. All right, and then the container, if we go to, let's say, register, you see how close this is to the nav bar? I mean, we're going to fix this nav. Actually, you know what? Let's do that first. Let's do the nav bar. So initially, the nav bar was set to display flex, but what I'm going to do here is take that away and just display block. Okay, just like that. And let's text align everything to the center. And if you want to style things differently, I probably should have said this in the beginning. If you want to style things differently, feel free. The UL, which is the menus, we're going to also text align to the center, and we're going to justify content. Remember, the UL is still flexbox, so we're going to use justify content center there, and that pushes everything to the middle. Okay, the H1, which is the logo, I'm just going to add a margin bottom because those are very close together. So margin bottom 1 rem, push that down a little bit. And yeah, that should do it. Let's see. So if I just want to go to, yeah, okay, so see how we just see the icons for the logout and the dashboard? That's because of this hide SM. Same thing with the tables. See how the tables don't look horrible? It's because we're hiding some of the columns so that it doesn't stretch out too far. Now this stuff here, these buttons, I want these to spread all the way across. I think that did we display flex, or they're just side by side? So what we'll do is set those to display as a block. So let's see, they have a class of dash buttons. So let's go outside of the nav bar here, and let's say dash buttons, and we want the links inside of that class, and we're gonna display them as block as opposed to inline. Puts them on their own thing there. Let's just make the width 100%, and let's make a margin bottom so that they're not right on top of each other. Oops. And there we go. So back to the container, I want to just move things down. So I'm going to go right here, say container. So the container has a margin top of 6 rem by default, but I'm going to make it 8 rem on smaller screens with this nav bar, because this nav bar has a it's bigger. So let's save that, and now that pushes it down. Okay, another thing is the text styles. Like this is too big, so let's say text styles, and let's do extra large. So initially this was, I believe, 4 rem, so we're going to set this to 3 rem. So I'll save, and now you can see that's smaller. And let's do the same for large. So large, we're going to set the font size from 3 to 2 rem. And then for lead, which is that paragraph right there, we're going to set the font size from 1.5 to 1, just 1, like that. All right, so we're almost there. Let's see, if we go to developers, that doesn't look very good. So I'm gonna basically just stack all this stuff here. Remember, this is the we're using the grid. So let's go, just go down here and say profiles. So the class of profile is already display grid, but I'm going to change the grid template columns to just 1 fraction, 1 FR. That way everything is on just one row. All right, and then I'm also going to hide the skills just because this is just too long. So I think that we should just hide the skills. So I'm going to let's center everything too. So let's do text align center, and then let's take the UL, which is the skills there, and let's do a display none. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Now we have to do the profile, okay, because obviously this doesn't look good. And if you remember, we use grid template areas, and all I'm going to do here is just change the orientation of the grid template areas. So let's take the profile grid, because that's the class we added the grid to, and let's say grid template areas. Now, so I'm just going to go on the next line here. Now, initially we had like top, about, and then we had EXP and EDU on the same row. All right, so what I want to do now is just stack everything. So we just want one column here. So say top, about, and then experience, and then EDU, and then GitHub. Now when I save that, this still doesn't look right. It's going off the screen. It's because of the skill set right here. These the skills, this is Flexbox and it's in a row, so it's basically stretching the content out. So all we have to do here is grab the profile about skills. Well, I guess we'll just do that. So skills, and we can just change the direction from a row to a column. So let's say flex direction, column, and save, and now everything is in place. All right. It looks like I forgot a padding class on this last repo. So I'm going to go back to profile HTML, and let's see what I missed. So P1, yeah, this last one, I forgot my P1 class. There we go. All right, guys, so I think that's it. Actually, posts. Let me check out posts. Yeah, we need to fix this. So this is simple. Whenever you have a grid where you use grid template columns, basically to make it responsive, you just need to set the grid template columns to one fraction. So it's just stacked. All right, so in mobile, let's go down to the bottom here and let's grab, they each have the class of post. Okay, it's already displayed grid. We just need to change the grid template columns to one FR like that and save, and now it's stacked. Let's see this stuff here. Let's change the padding so that this goes straight across. So we'll grab the A tag and button within the post and set padding to 0.3 rem and 0.4 rem. There we go. So that way it has less padding and it can go across like that. And if you want to mess with it some more, you can do that. But I think this looks pretty good. All right, cool. So let's get rid of this. I just want to put this back. Okay, so that's it, guys. We have created a nice little UI. I can't get back to the home page though, so if you want to add a home link or do something with that, you can, or just do that. But that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoy this little series, and if you're interested in making this actually function into an actual application, you can check out the MERN Stack course, where we use Node, Express, React, Redux, MongoDB to make this into an actual functional application. All right, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.